Hello, and welcome to Getting Started with Building Dashboards in OpenText Analytics. Today we will cover OpenText Analytics architecture along with a quick demo of how to build dashboards. OpenText Analytics provides solutions for all your analytic and reporting needs. Let's take a look at the OpenText Analytics architecture. We break it down into three main areas: design, deploy, and display. Let's start with deploy. The OpenText Information Hub, iHub for short, is an enterprise-grade deployment server for secure, interactive analytic applications, and is the foundation for standalone and embedded applications in the OpenText Analytics product suite. iHub brings information designs to life, making them interactive, personalized, and trackable. The web tier allows you to display your content. Our APIs make it easy to embed visualizations in any app or device. In design, we have OpenText Big Data Analytics, which is an advanced analytics software solution designed to access, blend, explore, and analyze data. Also in the design area, we have the Analytics Designer, which is used to create content for iHub. If you have not downloaded the Designer, you can go to the following URL to download our free Analytics Designer. The Designer is a modern IDE based on Eclipse. It provides tools that you can use to connect to data, build, and customize report designs and dashboards. It allows for previewing and debugging. You can also evaluate our Enterprise iHub deployment platform by downloading our free trial version. Today we will focus on dashboards. For a general overview of the Designer and data objects, please see our first videos in this series. So we'll get started building dashboards here. You can use either our Designer for building dashboards or allow your power users to build them using the web-based interface out of iHub. So let's switch over to our Designer. Here in the Designer, it's very simple. We can either go off the File New menu to select what we'd like, or we can go right to the project and just choose New Dashboard, and we'll give it a name. And choose Finish. It will then bring up our Dashboard Designer inside the browser for us to work with. We can go ahead and add our data to it. So we'll choose Manage Data, and it will show me the data that I have available to me for this dashboard. I can either use live data using the data design or cache data in the .data file. For this example, I'll just use the cache data. And before I get started, I might like to give my tab a nice name. So today, the example we're going to build will be a call center analysis of the different types of calls that are coming in. How long did they take? What types of service difficulties did I have? Different things that I might see in a call center type of dashboard. So we'll just go ahead and rename this, and we're going to call this call analysis. I can then set my layout. I have choices of how many different columns I want, or freeform where I can use it as an open canvas. And today we'll just choose 3 columns. So now what I'd like to do is put in some selectors first. Selectors will act like filters for filtering the data as I view and work with the data. And as you can see, I have a large types of selection of data selectors I can use. In this case, I'm just going to use list. And I will select what I'd like first, and I'd like call severity. Say OK, and we'll put it in, and I can actually resize the column to be the size I'd like, and we'll insert another selector. This one will be for my vendors. And I'll drop that down to the second one. And you can see it automatically gave me a scroll bar, but I know there's not that many in that list, so I'll just size it so I don't get a scroll bar. And we have one more selector I'd like to put in there. And that's going to be for the types of services. Now I'd like to add some visualizations. That's very simple. As you can see, I have a lot of different visualizations I can choose from, just right out of the box. And unlike some other BI type tools, I don't need to pre-create these visualizations, then place them on the dashboard. I can create them right here in the dashboard. So it makes it very simple to allow power users to create dashboards off of data. In this case, I'm going to choose a column chart. And this chart is going to be a call minute analysis, so we're going to choose my service. So we'll do call minute analysis on the service. The data column will be minutes on the phone. And for the aggregation, I have a large selection of different types of aggregation, but I'm going to choose average here. And I'd like to group this by customer type. So we'll make it a little bit nicer. We'll actually give that chart area a name. And we'll switch over to format, and we can actually give a title name to the chart itself. And I'd like to have a legend in there, so I can say I'd like to show the legend, and I'll choose where I'd like to have it, and this is above. The nice thing is I have the ability to use different themes. So these themes can be pre-created to match my corporate look and feel. So as a developer or a power user creating the dashboard, I don't have to guess at the different fonts and color schemes to be used. I just apply the theme, and it's all taken care of for me. I can say OK. And we'll create that visualization, and I'll put it over into the second column. And then we'll just do some resizing to make it look a little nicer. And there we go. Just like that, I've created the visualization that I'd like. So let's go ahead and add a second one to this. And for this one, we'll choose a bar chart. And the data we're going to want will be the vendors. This is going to be the call vendor activity for different calls. So we'll choose that we'd like the vendor. And this is also minutes on the phone. And this will be an average. And we'll group this by the type of service. We'll go ahead and give it a nice name. Format this. Give it a title. Say I want to show the legend, and we'll keep that above. And apply my theme so I get all the colors will match. Say OK. And move that over into my third column. And I look at this and I say that doesn't quite look like what I like here. So we'll go ahead and edit this and go into format and look, and we see that we use the subtype side by side. Well, I'd like it to be stacked, so it's very simple to change that. I just choose stacked, say OK, and we can see it automatically updates, and now I get a stacked bar chart, which is closer to what I want. And I can resize that, and there we go, it's all done. Very fast, very simple. We can see it's live. If I select on severity, everything updates very quickly. If I choose severity and a specific vendor, we can see everything updates just like that. So all the filters work. I can clear these and go back to where it was at. So it makes it very simple for me to start analyzing and digging around on the data. So we'll go ahead and save this and create a second tab here. In the second tab, what I want to use is pre-built content. So I'm not stuck using content, just creating it right here on the dashboard, although that's a really great feature. If I've already have reports, it might show me what I want, or pieces of report, visualizations that I want to reuse, I can actually reuse those in a dashboard. In this case, I have one of those, so we'll go ahead and rename the tab, and we'll call this Call by State. And we're going to go ahead and insert some data from what we call a reportlet. So it's a bookmark section of a report, just one of the visuals in the report. And I can have those readily available to put right into my dashboard. So we'll choose Browse, select the report that I'd like to use, then select the bookmark section, which is the map I want, and say OK, and it will generate it and put that right into my dashboard. So let's go ahead and edit this to give it a nice name. And we'll just call it Calls by State Map. Very quick, very easy. It's all done. Everything's available to me and ready to go now. The state map also has drill down capabilities, and they also work. So let's just see that really fast as a quick test. And there's the detailed call information that I could then start to dig into and understand what's actually happening with the calls in that state. So we can see very fast and very simple how quick it is to create a dashboard. I could then take these dashboards and upload them into iHub. I could do this right out of the designer by going to my Server Explorer. I could go ahead and make sure I have my server selected. Then I could go to my project or upload individual files right into iHub for using them. So let's take a quick look how the finished dashboard would look from an end user perspective in iHub. So we'll open a new browser window, log into iHub. Once we're in iHub, we'll go to the application where I put this sample application, and we'll just select that dashboard. And we'll open the dashboard as an end user might see this. So when it loads up for the end user, they don't see any of the design capabilities that I had there as the person building it. It's read-only for them, so they can work with the data and view it and answer it. And we can see here I've added a couple extra visualizations for it. These are all HTML5. This is a date one, so we have a little slider here so they can zoom in, zoom out. And we know that the different selectors work, so I can choose banking services, and we'll see everything update to filter that out and only show me information by banking services. Very fast, very easy to do for an end user to dig around and understand what's happening with the data. They can also flip over to the second tab, the call by state, and there it is. The map's there, and they can also dig into that, and the drill throughs work there. Now they can start working with this data. They can enable their interactivity, and they could just go ahead and do some filtering or sorting. In this case, maybe I'd like to filter it because I want to just concentrate on only the high severity calls. So I can do that very quick and very easy. And we'll just say want high and say OK. Just like that, I've filtered it out, and I can start digging in and looking at this and working with the data even more. So those are good examples of how I can very quickly create a dashboard as a developer and the designer. I can also allow a power user to have that same web-based feel and interface to be able to create dashboards right out of iHub, and then we can see how they're published out and read-only for an end user to use to start working with the data. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and for more information, please visit opentext.com/analytics. Thank you very much.